Can murder suspect Bryan Kohberger, accused of killing 4 Idaho college students, get a fair trial where the crime occurred? His lawyers say no, now asking that his capital murder trial be moved. As of now, Kohberger is slated to stand trial in Moscow, Idaho, population 28,000, which is where the 4 University of Idaho students were killed inside their home on November 13, 2022. In a court filing, Kohberger's attorney arguing, quote, "A fair and impartial jury cannot be found in Latah County, owing to publicity, small size of the community, and the severity of the charges Mr. Kohberger faces. Enlarging the jury pool will not do anything to overcome that pervasive prejudicial publicity." She's requesting that not only the jury be pulled from outside of Moscow, but outside of the county in Idaho, and that the trial itself should be moved elsewhere as well. But prosecutors responded by pointing to the case's global notoriety. They said, it's not Moscow, it's not Latah County, it's everywhere. So I don't think that a change of venue is going to solve any of these problems. I have people, friends in this community have traveled to Mexico, and they say, "You're from Moscow?" And immediately they want to talk about the case. Back with me is Geraldo Rivera, Rachel Juarez, judge on TV's Hot Bench, and Jesse Weber, attorney and anchor at the Law and Crime Network. Geraldo, change of venue?
Definitely. I mean, it's a small town. This is a brutal, horrific crime. Imagine the guy with the butcher knife going and killing these kids. It is every person's nightmare that lives in one of these single-family, even multi-family homes. You think about that, and to think that he actually did it and killed these 4 beautiful children. I don't know how the motion to change venue is not honored. I think that it's a no-brainer. You bring in the jurors. Idaho's a gigantic state. I disagree entirely with the prosecutor who says that it doesn't matter where you go. It matters where you go. It matters that it happened down the block from you. It mattered that your kid goes to school.
Go ahead, Justin.
I have 2 things about that. One, I respectfully disagree. I think that this judge is not going to do it.
As long as it's respectful.
It's definitely respectful. I don't think the judge is going to do it. And I'm going to say to you 2 reasons. One, it's a very high burden to try to, a high standard to try to get a jury moved. I think this is a very high-profile case, but we've had a number of high-profile cases that have remained in that area. Look at the Derek Chauvin case. That change of venue was denied. But even more importantly than that, I think it's beneficial for the defense to have it here. Why? If you have a jury that knows that area, when you're talking about potentially Bryan Kohberger driving around, you know, how close he is to this place or that place, having somebody who understands the geographical makeup of that place is more important than taking somebody from outside.
Wait, but how does that help the defense?
Because I think if they're going to say, that was an area that was populated, you know, P went out, people drive out there. Remember the cell phone evidence, which is so key.
Right.
That is not as accurate in that kind of area as it would be in a metropolitan city. And I think if you have people in that geographic area who understand the environment, I think it's actually beneficial for the defense. I don't know. That's my take on it.
Rachel, look, you're a judge, so on TV at least. So judge this one for us. I've sort of side more with Geraldo on this one. I think that the amount of attention specifically in Moscow is so significant. And yes, other people in Idaho are going to know about it, but it's not the same as being right there.
Of course. I also don't even think it's necessarily just an issue of the amount of attention, but if you remember at the outset of this happening, before they even identified Bryan Kohberger, there was a serious risk in this area that there was somebody out there who was going to kill other people. So this tiny community was kind of traumatized initially by the ongoing fear of, is there a guy next door who might end up in my bedroom tomorrow night? So I do think that it's not only the issue of the negative press, but the very significant impact that this particular event had on that tiny community. I think this is a change of venue. I mean, if Lori Vallow got a change of venue and she's in Idaho, I think this is a change of venue as well.
I would say to that, aren't we presuming a little too quickly that this jury cannot be fair and impartial? Doesn't it matter more to them in that community that they get the right guy?
You can see the house where the slaughter took place.
But doesn't it matter to them that this is their
case?
Went to
the same coffee shop.
But this is their case. They want to make sure they get it right. They want to make sure the killers
bring in a couple of dozen jurors from a couple of counties over. It's a buses.
It would also be a question if it delays the case, and we know the judge is not keen on that.
What I was shocked in studying this case was that when he drove home from Idaho to Pennsylvania with his dad, they get stopped by cops twice. Nobody, unrelated with the case, they can't.
The Indiana police didn't know about it at that time.
I've driven so many times across the country and all over the place, going to the University of Arizona, and no cop ever stopped me. It's just shocking that 2 cops stopped them and missed it.
Yeah.
He finally got him with the cell phone, and that's where all these people are now getting it. Cell phone and DNA. The world has changed.
And the surveillance and the potential eyewitness.
Yeah.
Against him.
There's a lot of evidence here against Bryan Kohberger. So, look, in the end, I think this becomes kind of academic, right? Where the trial happens. Unless the defense has something big we don't know about, I don't think this is going to be a particularly close case. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.